Hello and welcome back to this episode of What Sam Said. I was reading through my journal a few days ago and I came across one of the many moments that I had recorded that involved my mom. On this particular memory, I've already shared it, I think, last year in one of my posts, but my aunt and my sister and I were packing up some of my mom's personal items from when she had transitioned. And as we were going through and, having the moments of laughing and a moment that may make you shed a tear, another one that'll just make you smile, my aunt turned to me and said, "Wayne, do you know who you are?" And I paused and I thought, And we just kind of went on, but the thought never left me. As I was riding back to Atlanta, I started thinking, well, God, I had this memory about a year and a half ago, and I'm not the same person that I am now. So is this something that I need to review again with me? Remember that life is too short to live it as if you don't have a purpose, that you don't matter. I've been reminded that there are people who are attached to me, so I should not live my life like theirs do not matter. I was reminded, stay in your lane, Sam. Stay in your lane. You may have been in this lane 2 years ago or last year, but as your lane narrows, as it becomes more specific to what you have been ordained to do, stay in your lane. That my strength lies in what I've been called to do. I am not you, and I can't be somebody else. I was reminded again recently that when I walk into the room, all that is in me walks into the room, and there is potential for change. I was reminded that 5 years will pass as the last 5 has, and I have to do something to change that. When I was first hired as an assistant principal, I remember my boss calling me into her office. She said, "Wes, once you taste success, nothing else will matter." And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she smiled. She said, "Wes, once you taste success, nothing else will matter." She said, "Meet me or beat me, brother. Just meet me or beat me." As a leader, you are responsible for bringing the level of energy that you need in your school, your business, your organization to the table on a daily basis. As a leader, know what you can and cannot do. I'll be the first to say that I've never purposed to be the smartest man in the room. And if you are there in that room with me, your primary role is to help me. Honestly, in my own experiences, no one just wants a yes man. So that means that every time we come up with a problem, I say, "Okay, give me some answers, recommendations." "Well, I like your suggestion." I'm like, "Well, I know my suggestion was a good starter, but tell me your thoughts. What experiences have you had with this particular option?" "No, I think we just need to go with what you say." And sometimes I'm like, okay, but sometimes I'm thinking, you saying that because if something happens, well, it was the principal's decision. It was what Mr. West wanted, so we just went along with it. I'm like, that ain't what I want. Now, as a leader, when opportunity presents itself, let me just preface it with that, because there may be times where you may have someone who, when you move into a building, for example, that they were already there, or, okay, well, James is going from school A to school B. So I get those types of dynamics. But when the opportunity presents itself, hire someone that has strengths and talents and abilities that you don't have. I've many a time sat at the table and I said, okay, let me write down my strengths. What am I good at? What do I need help with? Who do I have on my staff that can fill that particular role? And what happens when they can't? You got professional development, or maybe I need to switch person A and person B so we can get the work done. When I step out of my car in the morning and I start walking toward my building, I say, all right, let's do this. Let's get this done. I'm ready. And I walk up, and I've shared before, top of the morning, guys, top of the morning, meaning it's a new day, guys. I can't have control over the experiences from yesterday. We can't sit back and shed a tear, for example, over a performance indicator that maybe we didn't meet, but we can move forward today. When I step out of the car, is what I am on the inside of me speaking louder than how I am walking up to the building? Am I smiling? Am I looking across the grass, making sure there's no trash out there? There are parents out there with kids in their cars with? Am I waving? Am I being sensitive to the things that may be concerning them? How do you command your day for success before you get to work? Is there anyone, for example, that you may need to forgive? God, I need to, go talk to so-and-so, so I may not have responded in an appropriate manner yesterday, so I need to get that off of me first so I can be open to hear the instructions for the particular day. When you walk into the door as the leader, lay aside things that may have been a hindrance to you. Lay aside those conversations that still may be resonating in your mind. That lay it aside. Walk in. I told someone the other day, you can come in from the back, but lead from the front. Be an example to your team, to your students, on what excellence looks like. Meet me or beat me, brother. Come in the door, laying all other things aside. Walk in and say, I got this. We can do this, guys. Make sure you're performing at your optimal level. I remember, and I shared this before as well, it's kind of one of those, you got to go back and reevaluate what worked and what did not work last year before you start another school year. I remember a student saying, good morning, Mr. West. I said, good morning. He said, how are you? I said, today is the best day of my life. Today I win. And he was just like, oh, okay, Mr. West. But I say it, and I believe it every time those words come out of my mouth. I say it on the way to work in the morning. I say it in the car rider lane. I say it walking down the hall. It's the best day of my life, guys. Let's do this. You got it. Let's get it. Let's go. Constantly trying to remind them that this may be the day that you need a top of the morning. Let's get it. Let's go. I want to remind you that you are here, and I know you can win with what you have. I say it because I choose to believe that today will be a better day than yesterday, and tomorrow will be better than today. I know you got it. Let's get it, and let's go. In life, if you're not careful, you can allow the words of others to get you off of your game. I've learned that the strength I had for a task yesterday may not be the same strength that I need today in order to overcome this mountain. I said, you know what? I'm the right person for this job. I love it. I love the students. I love the teachers. Each day is going to be a miracle for us. So Sam, reprogram your outward appearance to match what you believe on the inside of you. I've learned over the years that you have to change, reevaluate, and then change again. What am I saying? Sometimes your opposition will determine the position that you need to take today. You may be in another department, another division, another school, but walk in and let them see what's on the inside of you will be the catalyst that can cause change. In other words, the level of fight that is in you determines the level of fight that's going to come out of you. Again, the level of fight that's in you will determine the level of fight that's going to come out of you. Sometimes it's the push that will propel you forward. Sometimes it's the actions of your enemies that will thrust you to your purpose in moment of difficulty. Sometimes I'll just say, thank you for grace. What did you say? Oh, by just making a comment. But I'm speaking to me. I'm not always speaking to those that are around me. I cry out for grace. I've learned that the ability to do what I can't do is what I need in every situation. Grace will give you the knowledge. It'll give you the wisdom. It'll give you the understanding to do what you may not have been able to do when you walked in. Sometimes we depend upon our knowledge, our past experiences, our personality, and those things are great in and of themselves. But how about give me a little grace in this situation? Give me a hunch what to say and what to do. See, success is a team effort. If you want to win, choose your teammates wisely. There's no need of you sitting there, well, I got so-and-so and so, or she won't do that, or he won't do that. It don't matter what they don't want to do. Let your grace be the grace that surrounds your team. Model for them what good looks like. Model for them what success looks like, and they're sure to follow. Sometimes you realize, like I'm stuck. You ever heard someone say, well, I have a tooth and it's impacted up against another tooth in my mouth, or this situation is kind of impacted. It's just kind of stuck. I remember Pastor Theo McNair Jr. saying, you can't allow everyone who desires to be in your life to have a seat at the table of your life. And let me say that again. You can't allow everyone who desires to be in your life to have a seat at the table of your life. You are impacted by who you are around. Sometimes you got a couple of folks that are just stuck there. It's like, you don't understand why there's a discomfort in your body or your mouth, but it's like, okay, what do I need to do? And you realize, okay, am I impacted? It's something that has been driven together, and sometimes in situations where we work. And there's a saying that you are the net or the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with. You are the net or average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So sooner or later, you become who you hang out with. I've shared that every next level of your life will demand a different version of you. Ralph Simpson said years ago when I was in a meeting, what timely preparations for future eventualities are you sowing into your life? What timely preparations? What do I need to work on? I'm not the smartest man in the room, but I can improve. What timely preparations for future eventualities? Okay, what's your next? Where you're going? What do you need to get some professional development on? Are you sowing in your life now? I've heard that, okay, when you're going to interview for a job, for example, that, okay, well, I walked in, okay, well, the first one, okay, all right, but the second, third, fourth, and fifth one, when you still don't get the answer that you desire to have, you ain't shocked no more now. You may be unprepared. You may be interviewing for a position that doesn't suit your gifts or your talents, but you ain't shocked no more. Okay, Sam, what do you need to do? I was telling people about my certification exam. So I didn't pass the first test. I didn't pass the second test, but I went out to the car and I wrote down in a journal, okay, what areas did they ask me and I just did not know? What should I have known? And those were the areas that I focused on. So I went back for the third time. I came out confident, okay, I got this. I'm going to win with this today. Have you ever heard people say, well, Mr. West, I understand what you're saying, but my results last year didn't meet that. Well, it may not be what you prayed for, but it's what you said. It's the power of the words that kept coming out of your mouth that countered whatever you thought that you wanted. Yeah, we do this, but I can't get this to do that, but I can't get so. Okay, well, it wasn't what you wanted, but it's what you said. So change the words that come out of your mouth. You can win today. You can win what you have, but you also can have what you say. I've learned there may be some times when a closed door is open that not only will change my life, but the lives of those who connected to me. I've learned as a leader, look, I got to look behind me. So is anybody back there following me? And if you are, let me dump everything I have in me as a leader into you so you can rise possibly above the heights that I've risen to. Come on, I don't have anything against you. Let's do this. Let's win with what we have. And there are people that may be trying to stop you. There may be co-workers or people on your team that just don't like you. Everybody ain't gonna like you now. And they say, well, if I can stop him, I can stop those who are waiting on him in order to reach elevation. See, this journey of leadership is not about you. It is about those that are coming after you. Falling ain't failure unless you don't get back up. Again, falling isn't failure unless you don't get back up. Yes, we will all make some mistakes, but don't quit. Expectation is the breeding ground for miracles, my pastor says. So I'm going to ask you, what are you expecting? What are you preparing for? Donna McClurkin has a song, we fall down, but get back up again. We fall down, we don't make the best decisions. Okay, I forgot to turn it in, my bad. Let me do that now. And then move past it. People are looking for people with answers. Everybody got some problems. Who's going to help me solve these things? In closing, it is the strength you gain from your failures that make you strong enough to stand up to your enemies. Again, it is the strength you gain from your failures that make you strong enough to stand up against challenges, enemies, situations that arise that you may not have been prepared for the first time. The one who tricked you is actually helping you. They will complete you as a leader, change you, then work on changing you again. See, success doesn't require that you look at the rearview window. It requires you to look in the mirror. I was listening to a radio station on my way home last week, and the song Yesterday was playing. So I turned it up a little bit. I thought, that used to be one of my favorite songs. But I'm not who I was then. And as I listened now to the words, I heard Mary say, I decided that I cried my last tears yesterday. I decided, not my friends, not my co-workers. I decided that's it. pause. I cried my last tear about that situation on yesterday. What Sam said, yes, I've made some mistakes and some missteps. Yes, I said what I thought and it wasn't what I meant, and I should have kept my mouth closed. Yes, I wasn't strong enough then. Yes, I may have been intimidated then, but I have decided that I have cried my last tears yesterday. I am not who I used to be. You don't know me. The one that I am today is not the Sam from yesterday. The one who walks in the room now is not the same one who walked in yesterday. I can have what I say. Meet me or beat me, West, rings louder now in my ears than it did 15 years ago. Yes, I still hear those words. So you can do this. Look in the mirror when you get an opportunity and see you. Decree, I can win with what I have. Today is my day. Thank you for joining me for this episode of What Sam Said. Have a phenomenal year. Again, I decided I cried my last tears on yesterday. No more tears of sadness. No more tears of regrets. No more tears of remorse on what I should have, could have, and would have done. Today is a turning point for me. Today I am moving forward, and today I win. Have an amazing day.